the message. And sometimes they were quite long. I mean, several type pages long. And so we had people lined up that would remember 2 sentences. You know, the guy at the window was spelling them out. And they would remember 2 sentences, and they'd go back and make sure that they had that exactly right. And then the next guy would get the next 2 sentences, and then when it was all through, about 10 guys had the whole thing absolutely verbatim.
Wow.
So
that's just incredible to be able to. What was the estimated prison population? Do you know?
it was about 350 in, I think, 7 cells, 7 big cells. Some of them bigger than others. So when I was in, had about 40 people. I was in number 3.
And that was at the Heartbreak Hotel?
It was near a Heartbreak Hotel, but it was not a Heartbreak Hotel. Heartbreak Hotel was just those 8 cells in the one little area with the corridor down between them. Only used for 7. The first one inside the door had a spigot and a little washer, shower in there. That about once a week they would let us use, but that was kind of a mixed blessing because the guards opened the door to the hallway and then opened that cell and used it as a urinal.
Oh gosh.
So,
so
that was a mixed blessing.
nice to get clean. Sort of.
What did they feed you? I mean, was it certainly wasn't 3 square meals a day? How often were you
they
given?
would feed us twice a day. First time about, I'm going to guess about 10 in the morning. And it depending on which camp you were in. There in Hanoi, we'd get a small loaf of French bread and a little cup of watery soup with some leaves floating around it, sometimes pumpkin, but not a whole lot. No protein, and sometimes a portion of rice, a small portion, if you got the bread. In other camps, you didn't get bread, but you got a larger portion of rice. And another little side dish, I'll call it, or something else, or soup. And it was not very many calories. Of course, we were not doing, you know what? We were doing physical workouts every day.
Yeah.
Even when we were down probably 40 or 50 pounds below our normal weight. If we could get out of bed, we would do something, because it was one of the only things that we could do that we knew was productive use of time.
So what was
to be in the best physical shape we could be in.
What was your workout that you would do?
Well, back later when I had I was up to maybe 120 pounds or so. I was doing sit-ups, 300 of them or so, but it started rubbing my tailbone, so then I did V-ups. My hands and feet touched down, because that didn't rub that spot on my tailbone.
Right.
And I did push-ups, absolutely rigid body, to touch my chest, from my toes to my chest, and push up, clap my hands, and then catch myself, and I'd do about 50 of those and quit. Then our beds were almost as high as this. Maybe most of the time about to this level.
Okay.
Just below the lift there.
And I would do run-ups.
Oh, right.
And
Okay.
I would do 25 with the left foot first, and then and bring the right foot up, and then I would do 25 with the right foot. You know, jumping up with my right foot and bring my left foot up. And I would do over 300 until I just decided I'd done enough. And believe it or not, when I came home to Tupelo, I found that I could run 5 miles, not jog. I could run 5 miles without getting winded.
So, I mean, physical fitness was important for
I mean,
health, important for you.
Absolutely. And that's attributable to getting my lungs and my whole system up to peak physical shape in order to be able to do that. And I don't know how many push-ups I could do. I did pull-ups too, just with maybe a ledge that wide up at the transom, and I'd do pull-ups with just my fingers. And I couldn't do it, but some of the guys could do push-ups standing on their hands
Oh, wow.
vertically.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, the handstand
Yeah.
push-ups, yes, okay.
But they did it. And all of us exercised up to, if we weren't tied up or something, to the limit of our ability. And when I came home, I don't think I had an ounce of body fat.
No. Bleeding mean.
So, the Geneva Conventions are supposed to offer you medical care as a prisoner of war. Obviously, that was not the case with your containment. What was the medical conditions like, and then what happened? Like you said, you had broken shoulder whenever you had ejected from the airplane. How did you get treated during that time frame?
They had, we found out over time and by circumstances, they usually would not give medical care unless they thought they could give you some care which would make you survive.
Okay.
If they thought you were past that stage, you didn't get anything. John McCain didn't get any at first. They thought he was so broken up that he wouldn't survive. But somehow he gained a little bit of strength, and they thought if they gave him some attention, and he actually had casts on him, one broken up arm. He never recovered fully from
Right.
his injuries.
Nor did Sam Johnson.
Yeah, Sam Johnson, who is a representative from the state of Texas, lives in Plano. He's been on the Hill, a U.S. representative, for, gosh, I don't know how many terms. Probably for the last 30 years or more.
And he's a wonderful man.
Oh, and he's broken up too from,
More so really than John in many ways.
Okay.
yeah, and what of him? He was a Thunderbird and had been a squadron commander, and he had just had a shiny Air Force career. And of course he was shot down, and that ended. He was still an Air Force officer and did his best.
Did you talked about the senior ranking officers when you first got into the camp? Tell us a little bit about that leadership and what you took from that.
Well, in whatever area we had communication, it might be a cell block, or when we were in the big rooms, cells after Sante, there would be someone for that particular cell,
Okay.
and we had communication all the way up to the most senior officer